Hello, children. I hope you all are doing great. So, today we are going to start the first chapter in Science 2. And in this video, we will cover the introduction to the chapter Heredity and Evolution. Okay, so what is heredity? Have you ever wondered why do you have some resemblance or similarities with your parents? Example, your eye color might be same to your father's or your skin tone is similar to your mother. Well, many people must have told you also कि यार तू तो अपनी मम्मी या पापा की तरह दिखता है या दिखती है. Usually when a child is born तो हम लोग उसको compare करते हैं कि ये अपने मॉम की जैसा दिखता है या अपने डैडी की जैसा दिखता है या इनफैक्ट समटाइम दादा दादी वगैरह की तरह दिखता है या दिखती है. So these similarities that we have from our parents or that we get from our parents, these are called as traits. Okay, and these traits are passed on to us through genes. So if I have to define heredity, heredity is the passing of genetic traits from the parents to offspring. You can even say that it is the passing of genetic traits from one generation to the other generation or from parent to progeny. So what is happening here is from the parental generation to the first generation or the to the progeny, the characters or the traits are transferred via genes. Okay, so if you don't know what are genes and where the genes are present in your body, so we all know that our body is made up of cells and these cells have various cell organelles, one of which is nucleus. Inside the nucleus, we have chromosomes. कुछ याद आया chromosome सुन के? You have studied in 9th standard about the chromosomes, that is they have P arm, Q arm, etc. Now on the chromosomes, DNA is present. Okay, and our DNA encodes specific nucleotide sequence called genes. So indirectly, our genes are present on DNA in the nucleus of most of the cells of our body. Now, the traits which are transferred from one generation to the other generation or passed on from one generation to the other generation can either be inherited or acquired. So, you have inherited traits or acquired traits. Well, inherited traits are the traits that we inherit from our parents. For example, your eye color that you can get from your parent, your hair color that you can get from one of your parent, or even some types of disease that is passed on from generation to generation. On the other hand, we have acquired characters or the acquired traits. The acquired traits are the traits or the characters that we gain in our lifetime. For example, your knowledge or your muscle power, the muscle strength, these are the acquired characters. Another important term is variation. Variation or difference due to error in DNA copying. And this is the reason why you do not look exact copy of your parent. It only happens in Bollywood movies that Shah Rukh Khan ka beta will be Shah Rukh Khan. But in real life, we do not look alike to our parents. There is some difference between, we have some similarities, but we do not look exact similar to our parent. So what happens is from one generation to the other generation, the characters are transferred through genes, which happens through DNA copying. Now, throughout in all the generations, these DNA copying takes place and there can be these variation slight differences due to which evolution occurs. So, there were many scientists who tried to study the science of heredity and the mechanism of inheritance. But it was Johann Gregor Mendel in year 1886 who was able to tell us about heredity and hereditary changes. You have studied about him in your previous classes, that is Mendel's experiment we have done about dihybrid cross and monohybrid cross. He is the pioneer of genetics. Well, genetics is the branch of science which deals with the study of heredity. Also, Johann Gregor Mendel is called as the father of genetics. Another scientist, that is Hugo de Vries, in 1901 gave us the mutational theory or the theory of evolution. The theory states that evolution is the process where new varieties and species are formed by mutation. We will later be studying in detail about mutation. Then in year 1902, Walter and Sutton put forth their research. अब इन्होंने क्या रिसर्च किया? इन्होंने रिसर्च किया कि in grasshopper there are paired chromosomes present. And after this, the research began in this field. Until then, no one knew about chromosomes and where they are present. So after this, it was proved that genes are carried via chromosomes. Then in 1944 came Oswald Avery, Maclean McCarthy, and Colin MacLeod. They proved that all living organisms have DNA as their genetic material, except viruses. So all the living organism जो कि है बैक्टीरिया से हायर मैमल्स तक के सबके पास डीएनए एज अ जेनेटिक मटेरियल है. Then in 1961, Francois Jacob and Jack Monod proposed a model for protein synthesis with help of DNA in bacterial cell. This research gave new direction to the development of genetics. Now all of these scientists and many more put forth their theories and the development and research in genetic took place. Now you may think कि हम लोग क्यों ये hereditary पढ़ रहे हैं and इसका use क्या है? Genes are transferred from one generation to the other generation. Okay. But why are we actually studying in detail about heredity? So heredity plays a very important role in various fields. For example, it is used in diagnosis, treatment and prevention of many hereditary disorders like Down syndrome, thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, etc. It also plays an important role in production of hybrid varieties like BT cotton, golden rice, or to increase the milk content in animals, etc. It also plays an important role in industrial process in which microbes are used. Let's have a quick revision of what we have learned. What do we call to the process of transfer of physical and mental characters from parents to the progeny? Answer: heredity. Which components of the cellular nucleus of the living organism carries hereditary characters? Answer: DNA. Define heredity, or what is heredity? Heredity is the process of transfer of physical and mental characters from parents to progeny, or the transfer of characters or traits from one generation to the other generation, or the transfer of characters from parents to the offspring. What are traits? Traits are passed from one generation to the other generation. Traits can be either acquired or inherited. Who is the father of genetics? Johann Gregor Mendel is the father of genetics. How the science of heredity is useful? The science of heredity is useful in various fields like for the diagnosis, treatment and prevention of hereditary disorders. Also in the production of hybrid varieties like BT cotton, golden rice, and in industrial process where microbes are used. Who gave the mutational theory? Hugo de Vries gave the mutational theory. Who discovered the paired chromosome in grasshopper? So it was discovered by Walter and Sutton. So children, I hope I was able to make you all understand this part of the chapter. In the next part, we will study an important topic, that is protein synthesis. Until then, take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye bye.